Hi Graham, I'll take you through a typical weekly data update. I'll just open last week's, well this is a year old this one, but I'll just presume this to be a previous week. So we'll just open this one up, and the first thing we'll do is go to the ladder page as I mentioned in the email, and copy over from there I6 down to the bottom of the listing, which is there, and copy, and then we'll go to H6 and paste special. So we don't want the formulas, so we only want the text numbers, etc. So pop those in there. So that drops off week 22, and you'll see here we've got 2 copies of week 26, which is fine because that's where week 26 will end, and as you can see it's text only. This one here we will now change to week 27, and you'll see that that's got the lookup formula looking at the club page where the new data is going to go in. Now you'll see these empty spaces here. These are where nobody shot, or where that person didn't shoot for the week. And if I didn't put zeros in there manually, I've got zeros hidden obviously. If I didn't put zeros in there, it would just come up as not available, which you'll see now as I drag that formula down to the bottom there. Just fills up with not available, and what that does obviously is breaks the formula in here as well because it's looking at those cells. But that's fine for this column because as you'll see now, when I go to club and delete last week's data, and just deleting the data, not the formatting, you'll see now that that there goes completely not available. The same will be in the individual page, also the graded pages, because they're all looking up club for that data, which is now empty obviously. Okay, the next thing you want to do too is change that to your next one, which will be in this case it would be the 9th of October, and you also want to save it as the next one, which will be 27. Otherwise you just end up overwriting last week's one and you regret it. I've done it a few times because I like to keep copies of all the previous ones. Okay, so you see this is all a mess too because there's no data in there. Okay, so we'll go back to club and we're going to put our new club scores in there. So I'll open the first one, which is here. This one comes from Martin. Now this column here I don't use. That's something that's relevant to the Manawatu clubs. So all I'm going to do is drag those over there, get rid of that column. So now I can copy, well, in fact what I'll do is I'll just copy the 2 individual sheets. I won't copy the total because that'll break my formula. So I'll just copy those and paste them into there. Oh, my mistake. I should have only deleted those columns there. There we go. So now I'll paste them into there. Now we're working again. Okay, so as you can see they've sent them to me in order of ranked order of total. The other thing you'll notice too, I forgot to mention before, is that these are all shot over 200, 2 cards, either a double card or 2 singles, which is what the ladder is based on. If a shooter only shoots 1 card, then obviously it'll still get entered, but it will impact their position on the ladder clearly. But they're aware of that. So this one here is our total of the top 5 scores for that club, and that there is then used as a ranking for the top club for the week. So now we'll get rid of that this card and we'll open the next one, which is the RSA club, and where you'll we'll copy, bear with me, we'll copy these ones. As you can see, some shooters here only shot a single card. Okay, so we'll copy those ones into there. I usually use keyboard shortcuts, so I'm just doing it this way here so you can see it as it's happening. Now, these ones here are ungraded because they're only social shooters, new shooters. Now, these ones aren't included in the ladder, but they do get included in the weekly publication into the local chronicle. So if we show there, it'll show all these ones here. That's just a concatenation of those cells, which I can then copy as plain text without formatting, which is required by the paper. So once I've done that, I mean, I don't know whether you're going to be publishing the paper or not, so I'll just hide that anyway. You can do what you like with that, and then I will delete these ones here because they are not relevant to the ladder, because they're club members only, obviously. Pardon me. Okay, so now we go to the next one, which is the Westmere Club, and what I'll do here is I'll just delete these empty rows just to make copying easier. Delete rows, and then I'll copy, oh no, I'll just order them first, and then copy those ones. Copy and paste into there, and there. Now we've got our 3 clubs scores. Now, as you'll see in the ladder, they have now become populated except for the ones that didn't shoot that week. So I'll now go through and manually change that to a 0, 0, 0, so on. Now these totals here will work because it's not, except for that one there, which obviously is above the top of the page. There. So now what that's doing is it's reading all 5 of these scores and dropping off the lowest one and giving you a sum of the remaining 4. So now that we've got that, we haven't sorted the order yet, so what we'll do is we'll make this one last week's. So I'll now hit that with a 1 and just drag that down to the bottom. So that was last week's order. So now what we'll do is, from there, no we won't, yeah, from there down to there, we will sort, which is data sort, and we'll base it ascending on column G because we want our ladder to reflect the best score in the total there. So then as a count back, we'll then go to our last score, which is L, which will be ascending, and then K is, oh hang on, no sorry, it wants to be descending, doesn't it? Sorry, descending order. Okay, so that should put our best one at the top and our lowest one at the bottom, which they are. Okay, so that's that sorted. So that's our new ranking in the ladder. So that one now becomes our ranked order. And you'll see they shift in positions. Steve Horrell is up to second place, he was fourth last week, and so on. So you can see some pretty big shifts, like Wayne Hunt was 7th last week and is 26th this week, probably because he's missed 2 weeks. So therefore he's only getting a total of 3 scores. So that's where this ladder merits the attendance. So even if you've attended but haven't shot very well, then you'll do a whole lot better, obviously, than if you've missed a couple of weeks. Okay, so that's that page completed. Now obviously all these names here are pre-populated based on, to a degree, last year and this year's reaffiliated club members. So all of your regulars I'll just automatically put in here, and then as the weeks go by, if there are new members pop up, then I'll add them into here. These ones here obviously were shooting, but they haven't shot for a while. They've dropped off for some reason. I'll just leave them on there just in case they pop up another score. Okay, so as you can see, that's all these scores are being read from the club page that we've populated before with the 3 different clubs. And that's the same with individual. That's all referencing the club page for both the grade, the club, and the scores. Now, to tidy this up, what I would do is delete those. In actual fact, if I sort them all, that would put them in a much easier to manage order. Okay, so then I'll delete those. And now we end up with all the ones that shot this week. Now I need to make a check, obviously, that all of these that all of the club members here are represented on that individual page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So we should have 33 on this page here. 2. That's a worry. Okay. So I'll copy that, paste that into there. There, now we've got everybody. Okay, that's interesting. instead of a club name, they've got a score in there. So I'll go back and find these scores, which is Samantha Gledhill. Here we go. Yeah, for some reason they've popped that in there. Now that I'm going to have to make an assumption here. So I'm just going to overwrite that with the club. Oops. Can't do that. So we'll go back to there. Be on that page there. Back to individual, and that should be correct now. So whatever happened there, that's their mistake. Now we need to do the same thing with these graded sheets. So what I'll do is I'll order these based on their grade, which will make it easier. Sort on column C, ascending, and followed by column G, descending. So we'll get them in score order, and then we'll do the next one, F as descending also. Oops. So what we've had to do here, because M falls after D obviously, is you need to put a space before the M space Oh, we've got two other shooters here that aren't club members. For recreational, I think. Yeah. Sorry if this is confusing, but you get these little anomalies sometimes from week to week. So we'll get rid of those two. Right, so now if we run that, if we run that sort order again, hopefully it's still got the same criteria. Column G ascending, okay, so that's now. What? That didn't work very well, did it? Data, sort. Oh, I see. Column C ascending, column G descending, and column F descending. Yeah, that's more like it. So we've got our M's in front, and that's all in that order. So now all we've got to do is copy those two names, or make sure that those two names for master grade are in there, which they're not. So we'll pop that there and delete that last name, and it's in ranked order. So now we're going to A grade, copy into there, and it's in ranked order. All the B grades. What I'm looking for is here, we've got two scores the same, and making sure that they are count backed correctly. So okay, that's correct. 8804, 9108. Oh, that's interesting. Both identical. Okay. B grade. So now we go to C grade. Copy. Paste. 529863. Yep. And the last one is D grade. Copy, paste, delete that one. Yep. So that is it. I'll just go and check the summary page that it's populated correctly. So we've there was a manual entry from last week because we had two shooters that shot 100.8. So I had to enter them both, but this week we've only got the one in the hundreds, so I'll just delete that. So we end up with one top shooter. And then we've got our top club, which is Martin, top of the 800 ladder, Tony, and then our top shooters for each. Oh, that's right, because they were sorted correctly on those pages. Okay, and this is our top 10 shooters, which is a direct reflection of that page there. So it'll be the first 10 on that page. And that should just be looking at the individual page. Yep. And that's it. So that's now correct. We can now save that as our open office spreadsheet, week 27. But then what I will also do is save it out as HTML, and I can then just pop that straight in through Dreamweaver into my web page with a little bit of minor fiddling to get rid of. Actually, I can show you. I open that as a web page. You'll see everything's all there, and all I do in Dreamweaver is rejig that so that it's in a menu across the top. They're all clickable to take you through to the appropriate page. If you wanted to, you can get fussy and you can delete all those zeros, but I honestly, after 4 or 5 years of this, I can't be bothered. I figure that the viewers can read that, and I haven't got the time to sit down and come up with I can see something else that I haven't done is I sorted the individuals according to their grades. So now that needs to go back down to ranking order, which will be column G, descending, followed by F, followed by E. Okay, that's more like it, because that there is being read into the summary sheet, which is there. Yeah, that's right. There, now it's correct. So now we can save it, and now I would overwrite HTML replace. Yeah. Okay, so that's all there is. All there is to it. It's a bit of a mess, a bit of a head full, and honestly, there's times some weeks when I find I can't be bothered, but I've got to do it anyway because I've committed myself to doing it, and they do show their appreciation. So I'll cut it off there. If you've got any queries, yeah, get hold of me, ring me, email me, whatever, and I'll try and help you through it. The only thing I can't guarantee that I can help you with is the translation from OpenOffice to Excel. But as I say, it might end up being a whole lot easier just to install OpenOffice and do it all from there, and that way you don't have to, unless of course you want to go through all those formulas in Excel and make sure they all work there, and all the formatting, which is up to you. Okay, anyway, hope it works for you.